So, there's some huge news on the global trade front. India and Oman have just inked a massive new trade deal, and it's a really big deal. We're going to break down what this agreement is all about, why it's so important, and how it could really shake things up in the Middle East. Okay, let's just start with the headline number because it's a real jaw-dropper. 99.4%. Think about that. Nearly every single thing India sends to Oman will soon have zero tariffs. That's the kind of thing that completely changes the game, and it is right at the heart of this new agreement.
Now, you have to understand, this isn't just your standard trade deal. It's what's called a CEPA, or a Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. That's a fancy way of saying it goes way, way beyond just cutting taxes. It's like upgrading from a basic trade plan to an all-inclusive one that covers services, investment, and even making it easier for professionals to work in both countries. And this quote from India's Prime Minister really nails the ambition here. See, it's not just about the economics of moving goods from point A to point B. It's about a much bigger vision. It's about creating real growth, sparking new ideas, and, maybe most importantly, opening up actual jobs for young people in both India and Oman.
And look, the trade between these two was already booming, right? It was already well over $10 billion. This new deal is basically designed to be like pouring gasoline on that fire. That arrow, well, that shows you exactly where everyone expects us to go, straight up. All right, so let's pop the hood and take a look at the nuts and bolts. What exactly did India and Oman agree to? What's actually in this thing? Okay, this is where you can see the beautiful give and take of a really solid trade deal. Check out the numbers. Oman is dropping tariffs on pretty much everything India sends its way. And in return, India is opening up its huge market to key products from Oman. It's a classic win-win, boosting major industries on both sides from Indian textiles and pharma to Omani petrochemicals and minerals. But, and this is so important, the agreement is about so much more than just physical goods. We're talking about making it easier for money to be invested. We're talking about working together on huge things like renewable energy. And it's even about making it simpler for doctors, engineers, and IT pros to move between the countries, sharing their skills and building new things together. So you see, all these economic details, the tariffs, the investments, they're really just the building blocks for something much, much bigger. This deal isn't happening in a bubble. It's a key part of a much deeper strategic relationship that's forming between these two countries. And this is where it all just clicks into place, like two puzzle pieces fitting together perfectly. On one hand, you have Oman, which has this big plan, Vision 2040, to move its economy beyond just oil. And on the other hand, you have India, which is actively looking for strong, reliable partners in the Gulf. This agreement, it helps both of them achieve their goals. And you can't talk about this without looking at a map. For India, Oman's location is just a massive strategic asset. It sits right at the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz, that critical choke point where a huge amount of the world's oil passes through. Having a strong partnership right there gives India a stable gateway to the whole region. So what happens now? Well, the deal is signed, but there are still a couple of steps. First, both countries have to officially approve it back home through their own legal systems. After that, it's implementation time. We should start to see all these new rules and lower tariffs kick in within the next few months. And that really brings us to the final big picture question. This partnership is obviously a game changer for India and Oman, but its real impact could send ripples far beyond their borders. You have to wonder, could this be the start of a whole new alignment of trade, investment, and influence across the entire Middle East? That is a story that is really just getting started.